Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bolo Swami Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namah Shivaya. I offer my pranams to the lotus feet of Masters. I pray Masters give us all the understanding. It's Swami who speaks. It's Swami who listens through all of us. Hari Om Tat Sat. Good evening. We are in chapter 3. We've chanted slokam number 39. Avrutham jnanametena jnanino nityavairina. Avrutham means it is covering. Jnanam etena. This etena, this jnanam, by the knowledge, this kamam and krodham, it gets covered by the this kamam and krodham. It covers the jnanam. The wisdom is required to follow the path of righteousness. So we are in the path of righteousness, and that wisdom is which is covered by the sway of Prakriti. We know this Prakriti that covers this. Avrutam jnanametena jnanino nitya vairina. Vairina means enemy. So this jnanam and krodham are constant. Nityam means constant, or nitya vairina, or perpetual enemies for the wise men, for the wise people. Okay, for wise people, this kamam and krodham are constant, perpetual enemies. What happens to the ignorance? So here, the ignorant person, they doesn't even feel that the desires are their enemies. They doesn't even know that the desire in that ignorant person, it starts giving him the sorrow. It is that desire that is making him get into this anger, sleeplessness, fear, jealousy, sorrow, depression, diseases like BP, sugar or kidney failure, liver problem. All these come under that disturbed life. So this ignorant person, many a times, he doesn't even know that the desires are the enemies, and the desires are the one which is causing all these problems. Sometimes people know, but many a times they will not even realize that these are their enemies. Nitya vairina, these are their perpetual enemies. Kama rupena kaunteya. Kaunteya means Kuntiputra, Arjuna. The enemies come in the rupam of Kama. The Kama rupena, it comes in the rupam of, in the form of Kamam, desire. Dushpurena analena. Analena means fire. Like fire, this Kama, it never gets fulfilled. He compares here with that fire. Like Analena means fire. Like fire, the more you put fuel into that fire, the more it burns. It never gets fulfilled. If a person is saying that, with this desire, once this desire satisfied, then I will not have any more desire, that cannot happen. If one desire that gets fulfilled, that gets into the happiness, soon after that, he gets into the next desire. The desire always is hungry. It wants to keep on being getting satisfied. It never says that is enough. So it is a great eater. Mahashanaha. It is great eater. Whatever that you put, it keeps eating, and it wants more and more and more. So whenever this kama is obstructed, then the anger comes, the krodham that comes. This kama, this desire, this kamam, the desire doesn't bother. The moment it gets distracted, this krodham comes, this anger comes, and when this anger comes, you lose control. You don't even know whom are you talking to. It might be a respectful person, but you will use all sort of bad and harsh words. So that is because the krodham, the anger that is getting deeper into you. Why respectable person? Even with your own God, we get annoyed many a times. We say, oh God, I've come to your temple, I did this, but you did not satisfy my desire, so I will not come to your temple. There are many people who say like that. That is the kind of krodham that gets deeper into them. As long as it is ragadvesha, we can control it. As long as it is attachment, we can still have control over it. But once it turns out into this kama, it's hard. It's little almost getting closer to the impossible. It's little hard to control it. So this kamam and krodham, we know now these are the enemies. And we also know that a person, it is kamam and krodham which is created by that individual. He cannot blame anybody else. He cannot say, oh, because of that person only I got this desire. No, it is you who has given that. So do not blame anybody else for them. The other person comes only as nimitta. So it is you, it is within you that you are giving room for this desire, and that desire is in turn getting into this krodham. So where does this lie? Okay, we know this is the enemies. These two are the enemies. Where does it resides? Where does it live? Krishna says in the slokam number 40. Indriyani mano buddhihi asyadhishtana muchyate yetair vimoha yatyesha jnanamavritya dehinam. Krishna says it resides in 3 places, important 3 places. Muchyate means it's said to be adhishtan, it's said to resides, dwelling place. Adhishtana means dwelling, it resides in. Krishna says it's said to be in 3 important places. Indriyani. Indriyani means senses. The first place is it resides in senses. Mano. The second place is mind, where the emotions are stored, where the emotions are there. The second place is manam. Third place is buddhi. Indriyani mano buddhihi asyanadishtan. So third place is intellect. All these 3 are the places. They are said to be the residence for this kamam and krodham. Indriyasyendriyasyarte ragadvesha vyavasthito. We have seen in the previous slokam. It expresses in these senses. Each sense organ, each organs expresses their own favorite likes and dislikes. The eyes express its own favorite likes and dislikes. The ear expresses. Where does this all come from? Swasya prakriti. It comes from your prakriti, from your past experiences. They create the sense of likes and dislikes. Second, it exists in mind. It associates with emotions. When it gets into your mind, it is little intense. As long as it is in your senses, it is just ragadvesha. It is likes and dislikes. When it gets into your mind, it gets little intense. And that is when we say, I hate to do this. I love to do this. I love this person. I love to eat this. I hate to eat this. I hate this person. I hate to act like this. These all comes when it gets little deeper into your mind. As long as it is in the senses, as long as it is in contact with the sense objects, this ragadvesha will rest on it. But in the mind, it just gets little more deeper, because even if you're not in contact with the senses, that person would have gone away, but still you would have come home, you will be sitting in your own room, but still you say, but because that gets into your emotions, and you say, I hate that person. The moment I think of that person, I get angry. That is because it is getting little deeper. Now the third place, intellect. Here, you will also justify your action. You will use your intellect, you will use your analyzing capacity, and you will say, Why did I get angry that time? What do you think? Why did I get angry? My anger is justified. This is because of this. You will rationalize your action. It is because of this I got the angry. So your hatred is justified here. Your love for that person is justified. I love this person because of this. I love this food because of this. I love this action because of this. Now you start using your analyzing capacity. You will justify your righteous anger. When you get into that justification mode, treating that enemy is very hard. So it is easier to destroy, or it is easier to it can be overcome when this kamam is at the sense level. It is little difficult when it gets into the mind level. It is almost close to impossible when it is almost hard when it gets into this intellect level, because you started justifying that, you started saying that it is right to get that anger. Ethair vimohayat, remaining here in that state, that will dilute that person, that will destroy that person. Jnana mavritya dehinam, that covers this wisdom, this knowledge that gets covered. So these jnanam and wisdom are covered, and then that person becomes ignorant again. Now we know what are the enemies. Now we know where does that reside. Now Krishna says in the next slokam, how do we attack this enemy? Slokam number 41. Tasmatvam indriyan yadau niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. Tasmat, therefore, tasmatvam indriyan yadau niyamya. First, Krishna says, first control at the level of senses. Don't allow it to get overpowered by the likes and dislikes. As long as it is in the sense level, first control at that level. They start expressing from the senses. First you overcome at that sense itself. It is easier, sense level. Anger is the first expression, right? When we get anger, what do? The first thing that we do is we lose control over our words. So how does it reflect? Through the senses. So with your tongue, you use all the words. So that is a karmendriya. So first you attack them at your sense level itself. Let them not express through their senses, through your senses. When you start controlling them at the outer level, what will happen? When you start controlling at the outer level, then it will start getting inside. It's okay. First you control at the outer level itself. You attack at this level itself. Papmanam prajahihyenam. This sinful, this anger and desire, you destroy it at that level. Jnana vijnana nasanam. By knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is acquired by... How do we get this knowledge? This knowledge we can acquire by reading scriptures, by listening to panyasams, by listening to discourses, by satsang, by attending satsang, we get this jnanam. Vijnanam. When you are convinced about what you are learning in the satsang, when you are convinced about what you are reading in the scriptures, and when you apply that in your life and when you experience it, then that becomes wisdom. As long as it remains a knowledge, it is a temporary knowledge. It is parabuddhi. It is borrowed one. And it can go away anytime. So, when you get into a satsang, or when you get into a pravachanam, or when you get into a reading scriptures, whatever that knowledge that you acquire, think about it, contemplate on it, think about it, understand the whole thing. Then it becomes your own. Then it becomes your wisdom. This kamam and krodham are jnana vairagya nashanam. This is when you get this jnanam and vijnanam, both it will destroy. So by controlling this at your senses level, you can overcome these two enemies. Slokam number 42. Indriyani paran yahuhu indriyebhyah param manaha manamastu para viddhihi yo manamastu para buddhihi yo buddhev paratastu saha. Here saha means that soul. So if you want to go to that, if you want to attack an enemy, we go to that place. We go near that enemy and we attack them, right? So instead of getting that enemy to your place. So go to that enemy's place and attack. Indriyani paranyahuhu. The senses are superior to the sense objects. So the senses are subtler to the objects. The 5 sense organs, they merge with the mind inside. When it gets inside, they merge with the mind. So this eyes, nose and ears and all, they all become one with that mind. The mind understands all the sense organs. The mind knows what eyes can do, what ears can do. It knows everything. So the senses are outer expressions of our mind. So without help of the mind, they cannot do anything. So they cannot experience anything at the level. So subtler than that is mind. So the mind is subtler. The mind is, okay, the mind gets a reaction to the sense stimulation. When you get a stimulation in the senses level, it gets a reaction. The reaction happens in the form of emotions. When you see something, you like it. That's an emotion. When you see an unhappiness, you get angry. Emotion, sorrow, emotion. These happens at the mind level. The positive thoughts, negative thoughts, all this happen in the mind through the stimulation that happens. That is subtler than the mind level. Subtler than the mind is this intellect. It has the power to analyze what is the mind undergoing, it can understand what this senses can do and the senses cannot do. So intellect can observe the mind and how the mind is behaving. It is more getting deeper into it. Higher than that intellect is Atma. So senses are outer layer, inner layer is mind, innermost is intellect, and the core is the self. Yo buddhehe paratastu saha. Saha is soul. More superior than that is this intellect. So if you want to overcome this kamam, then you have to overcome the senses by not coming under the way of this likes and dislikes. You have to overcome at the level of mind, not coming into the sway of love and hatred. And you have to overcome at the intellect level by negating this justification, by destroying the false justification that it creates. So identify yourself, identify you with this self, with the Atman, and understand your own seeking and overcome this kamam. And then once you get into that stage, in the second chapter also we have seen this word sthita prajna. When you get into that stage, that level, then you set free from this kamam. The next slokam number 43, Krishna explains the technique of meditation. Evam buddhev param buddhva samstavyatmanamatmana jahi shatrum mahabhaho kamarupam durasadam. Evam, in this way, Krishna says, go subtler and subtler. First, don't come under the sway of likes and dislikes. Then, get into the mind. Don't get into the hatred and love. And then the intellect, destroying the justification, false justification that you make for this hatred, for this love and hatred. And then go beyond that goes subtler and subtler. Evam, in this way, evam buddhehe param buddhva. Buddhva means understood. First, intellectually understand the self, the Atma is subtler than the intellect. First you understand that. Buddhva means understand. Samstamyatmanam atmana. With that purified mind, once you understand that, when you acquire that knowledge, understand that, with that purified mind, calm your mind. Get with that self. And that is possible with the meditation. There is a special chapter, chapter 6, Krishna explains little more deeper all this meditation process and techniques. Having identified with that pure consciousness beyond buddhi, which is first understand this buddhi, then buddha, having understood, go beyond that buddhi. Having identified that consciousness level, Jahi Shatrum Mahabaho. Mahabaho means, here he is referring that to Arjuna, oh mighty army, Mahabaho, Jahi Shatrum. Then you can kill this Kamam completely. Until such time, that will exist in you. We need to keep working on that to destroy it. Till one has not experienced that state of meditation, one cannot become free of this Kamam. It will, whenever we sit for meditation, we will have constant fight all the time. Once we experience that blissful state, then this Kamam is wiped off completely. The Sthita Prajna, they get into this Sthita Prajna state, one who is free from all these desires and getting deeply satisfied into that self, that Atma. O Mahabaho, O mighty army, so destroy this Kamam Rupam, Kama Rupam Durasatam. It is not that easy. It is very difficult to conquer. So if you want to conquer that, then you need to raise above that Kamam. And how does that go above that? Above that is this Atma, and get connected to that through meditation. Remaining at the same level of this Kamam or getting below that level of Kamam, you will not be able to conquer this Kamam at all. Kama Rupam Durasatam. You need to raise above that level and negate all this false justification. Again, go against, above all this reasoning that your anger is justified, your right anger. Go all beyond that and understand that nature of self. Through this technique of meditation, deep within, you can destroy this Kamam completely. So this Kamam and Krodham are to be overcome by attacking systematically at the level of senses. What do we do? How do we attack at the level of senses? We attack through this sway, not coming under the sway of likes and dislikes. At the mind level, hatred and love. At the intellect level, by removing this false justification, and then getting beyond by meditation, experiencing this joy, experiencing this Atma. And once we experience that blissful state, we are completely free from this Kamam. So, with this chapter, we come to the end of Karma Yoga. This chapter, Karma Yoga, the term yoga we already know. It means the act of connecting the lower with the higher. So Krishna, in every chapter, he is giving us various techniques and methods, and any method that by which, any technique by which the lower in us is trained, is educated, is trained to live into the higher way of life. And what do we gain by getting into the higher way of life? We gain more control upon our own life, and that is called yoga. And here in this chapter, it is Karma Yoga. It is through action Krishna gave us lot of techniques and methods how to overcome these enemies. Who are the enemies and where do they reside? How do we overcome? How to attack those enemies? Everything step by step in a systematic way Krishna is explaining. In fact, like Arjuna is facing this problem now because he doesn't want to fight in the battlefield. So Krishna is educating Arjuna. We also face such challenges in our daily life. So all these methods help us if we train ourselves systematically to handle the likes and dislikes at the sense level, the love and hatred at the emotional, the mind level, and whenever we get into a righteous anger, when we justify all our actions which is not in the right path, addressing them, then getting beyond that. With this, we come to the end of chapter 3. There is a Sankalpa Vakya which we traditionally used to chant at the end of each chapter. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitastu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Sastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Karma Yogo Nama Tritiyodhyayaha. We'll keep our back straight. We'll come to the end of today's session. We'll chant Om 3 times together, followed by the prayer. Eyes closed. Om. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugantim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityon Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugantim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityon Mukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugantim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityon Mukshiyamamritat. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Tukabhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Salutations to our masters. Om Bolo Swami Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Bolo Swami Vishnu Devananda Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you so much for joining this. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. See you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Enjoy your evening.